this table, everyone is welcome. At this table, everyone is seen. At this table, everybody matters, and no one falls between. At this table, you can say whatever. At this table, you can speak your mind. At this table, everything's forgiven. There's enough for everyone. So come as you are. Remember that the door is always open. Yes, come as you are. The perfect gift that you could bring is your heart. Come as you are. At this table, there will be no judgment. At this table, mercy has a seat. At this table, we're all sons and daughters. There's no place I'd rather be. So come as you are. Remember that the door is always open. Yes, come as you are. The perfect gift that you can bring is your heart. Come as you are. Come as you are. At this table, everyone is welcome. At this table, everybody cares. At this table, everybody matters. So come, pull up a chair.
Wow, that was beautiful. Would you like to join me in a guided meditation? Sure. So just take a moment to relax your body, maybe let go of any tension that you might be holding in your shoulders or your neck or your any part of your body. Just let it relax. And become aware of your breath. Soft, easy breathing. Deep breathing. But soft and at your own pace. And as you take the next breath, imagine that you are breathing a breath of love. Pure, unconditional love. Love that doesn't judge. Love that doesn't require anything. Just a full, full-blown, pure, unconditional love from the source of it all, the creator of everything. And as I breathe more, breathing that intention of love, I allow it to go down to my heart, and I feel my heart flooded with that same unconditional love. It takes on a glow of brightness, lightness, whiteness, and is tinged with gold, pure gold, sparkles. Such a wonderful feeling being in this place of unconditional love. And imagine that in your mind that you can go down into this place, right there in your heart, and feel the inflow of that love from Source. And as you become aware of it, it becomes brighter and warmer. More peaceful, more glorious in every way. Now imagine that there is a shaft of this light flowing from your heart out into the world. Love. You emit unconditional love all the time. And if there's someone in your life or from your past, maybe it's someone that you feel a little off with, things didn't go well, or someone who gets on your nerves. Maybe it's someone that you especially love and accept just as they are. And you imagine that light that represents that unconditional love just flows to them and floods them, top to bottom, inside and out. Whatever has been going on in this particular relationship, all can be healed with love, and it always comes from you. It doesn't need to come from anyone else or anybody else. I'm going to switch this to the first person so that we can say, I am love, and feel it. I am love. I express love in all situations. I express it to all people. I allow it to heal relationships from the past, relationships in the present, and I allow it to bless any and all relationships in the future. What a joy it is to be this giver, this free giver of love, broadcasting it wherever you go. Is there someone else you'd like to welcome into this loving space? Go ahead. Invite them in. Expect nothing in return. Just allow this love to flow freely. And then, don't forget yourself. Imagine that this love expands beyond your heart into the rest of your body, into your torso, out your arms, down your legs, down your feet, up into your head and beyond. always good to love yourself. So allow that right now and always and any time in the future. Let it happen. It's safe to love. So become aware of your body sitting in the chair. You don't have to turn off any love. It can happen wherever your mind goes. Wherever your mind goes. And bring yourself back to this place. And take a soft breath again. Feeling that love. Feeling it expand you. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes.
Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for all that is. Give praise, give praise, give praise, give praise. Give praise for all that is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give
That was beautiful. Well, good morning. I'm Lucia Cooper-Smith. I'm your host for today. And let me begin by saying it is a pleasure to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. And I'd like to welcome those of you who are watching online as well. So you know we're doing something a little different today. Instead of a weekly talk, we're going to have an open and question format with our founding minister, Reverend Dr. MITCH JOHNSON. So we get questions all the time about this teaching, what we believe, and what we're all about. So every week we open our service by saying that we are an open and inclusive new thought community, and that our mission is to help people live their best lives through a practical spiritual teaching that tells us that we are all individualized expressions of God and teaches us the power of our thoughts to create the lives we want. So this is an opportunity to get your questions answered about this very different spiritual gathering place called Center for Spiritual Living Nashville, and what it is we teach here outside of a traditional Sunday talk format. So wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Something we're not doing differently today, as you know already, is that we are still bringing the fabulous music that we are known for on this beautiful day. So I'd like to again welcome back Raven Barrientos and Joelle Platt as our guest artists. The music has been beautiful so far. And if you're wondering about the different seating, we're really mixing it up today. Today is our Thanksgiving potluck. So this is our dining room, and it also gave us a chance to try out a different seating arrangement. So I would like to begin our service with a short quote from Ernest Holmes, followed by a brief affirmative prayer. This quote is from This Thing Called You, page 52. I surrender all fear and doubt. I let go of uncertainty. I know there is no confusion and no lack of confidence. I know that what is mine will claim me, know me, rush to me. I accept the gift of life for myself and everyone else. Please join me in an affirmative prayer. I'll say it in the first person, and please make it personal to you. So let's begin just by closing our eyes and taking a deep breath. I know that there is one power, one heart, one mind that is the mind of God, the mind that created all that is. Because it created me, I am made of it. I am a perfect expression of the divine. And I know and affirm now that today's service provides me the guidance for me to see how I can create my deepest desires. All good is mine. Everything I imagine and beyond what I imagine already exists in the quantum field, that infinite field of possibilities that is already created in the one mind. It is available to me, and I claim it now. I am an expression of God, and I cannot fail. I am grateful that everything I have spoken is already done. I release my word to the law that always responds yes. I let go and let God, and together we say, and so it is. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Dr. MITCH JOHNSON.
Morning. So questions and answers, and I would say to you, please be gentle. Let me say I bought a little booklet of things to say, because sometimes I run out of things to say. But it's a quote from Neville Goddard on it that says, if we do not like what is happening to us, it's a sure sign that we are in need of a change of a mental diet. So that's the truth. So if you have some question that you've thought about the science of mind or anything metaphysical, Not that I'm an expert on all things metaphysical, I'm not, because it's still a wondrous mystery to me, and a wonderful one that I'm glad to be a part of. But if you have any questions at all about anything metaphysical, something maybe that isn't working in your life, or something that is working and you want to share it, or you're just trying to stump me because you don't like me, that's okay too. You got a question?
I do.
Okay.
What does CSLN say about the Bible and Jesus?
Is she on?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, you think I know how to do that? Yeah, what is CSLN's belief about the Bible and Jesus?
Well, Ernest Holmes said that, is science of mind a Christian idea? Yes. He said it is a Christian philosophy because it's based on our Western Bible. And, you know, most of us belong to this Western society. And so the Western society, we follow the teachings of Jesus, Ernest Holmes said. So in that sense, we're Christian. In the sense that we're a religion, no. We're not the Christian religion. We're not that. No, I won't tell that joke. Yeah. Well, because we're not dogmatic, and we don't say we have the only one true way to life, because there isn't one true way to anything. In fact, if you're looking for one true way, you're getting off kilter with what it is you want to express in your life. Because there's an infinite number of ways to an infinite God. Amen? So I think sometimes if... nah. Well, you know, as I've gotten older, I've learned to silence myself. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it's... Well, there's an old story that what would happen if Jesus came back and saw the religion that was founded in his name? Do you know what he'd say? He'd say, Jesus. I've got the only way, the truth, and the life. Wow. Now, trust me, I come to it. I was raised Southern Baptist. Amen. You can tell. And I was a gospel singer in my youth and all of those things. So I have an affinity towards it. And there's a feeling you get from religion, but that feeling is spiritual. It's not the religion. I love what I think Rumi said, and I'm not going to quote it exactly, but he said Muslim, Christian, Hindu, Zoroastrian. So they all are looking at the mystery with love. And I like that. And I think Ernest Holmes would say that these are all just different ways of viewing what the mystery we call God is. Come on, some questions. Stump me. Well, everybody but Todd.
Actually, I'm going to have an easy one, but why don't you tell us your experience and what led you down this path, some meaningful story of what made you a believer, and some maybe examples of what has happened in your life that proved this philosophy.
It includes some pretty sordid stuff. Yeah, you want to hear that. Well, what led me to the science of mind was that, of course, it was a church. And remember, it's a different time than it is now. It was in the 70s. I'd gone to California to get into the music business, or maybe acting and maybe all kinds of things. And so there were a lot of stresses on me at the time. And I had been a salesman and I'd been successful at that and other things after I graduated from college, but I really wanted to get in music. And so I went to California, and it was okay for a while. I played clubs and stuff with a band, but then things started to kind of fall apart. I know you don't know what that means, but I didn't get jobs. Things were going on bad. I was getting divorced. I was living in a one-room apartment, a studio, and I think the smallest studio that was ever made. There was a bed, and there was a table next to the bed that had 2 legs on it because the top was built into the wall. And so I was in there going, what have I done? Why did God punish me some way? Maybe God is punishing me for a divorce, that kind of stuff, that kind of nonsense. And so someone came to me and said, well, why don't you go to this church with me? And I said, nah, no church, been there, done that. They said, no, it's a different kind of church. I said, so anyhow, out of maybe a sense of desperation, I went one Sunday and I sat in the back, like some new people do back there. They come and they sit in the back and they want to get close to the door in case it gets too weird. Well, I was in Southern California, and it tended to get weird there many times. So I sat in the back and I listened, and it all made sense to me. They were not talking about religion. They're not talking about they had the only way. They were not talking about there's something wrong with gays, and they were not talking about there's something wrong with you of whatever. And so it kind of made sense to me. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to change anything, it's going to take some time. It's going to take time because you have bought into the idea that it's going to take time. But at least if you start applying yourself to something and start repeating it and repeating it, you start changing actually the neural structure of your brain and body. And your genes start creating hormones and start creating feel-good serotonin and dopamine and things like that to make you feel better, which raises your vibration of energy. Because everything, and I think Ernest Holmes would agree, everything is simply energy. And the energy that we feel, that we attribute to something we call God, is the energy of love. So we come to this plane of, I'm preaching, I'm not answering questions, but we come to this plane of existence because it has contrast. Because here there's up and down and in and out and hot and cold and those kinds of things, yin and yang, that enable us to make choices. Ooh, I don't like this. Wow, I do like this. So that is a feeling thing. And that feeling thing tells us where we are in this life. And if we're feeling bad about something, feeling angry, feeling fearful, feeling out of sorts, feeling not feeling good, there's your clue. You're at the wrong vibration, my friend. So the only vibration that can be is to go up. And yes, you might be feeling in the pits, but at least a little, just a modicum of vibration upwards starts to make you feel better. It's not a jump from pure desperation and fear all the way to incredible success and love. That doesn't happen that way because you're not vibrating that. But to get to that place, a little love to yourself at a time, a little feeling good at a time, a little good at a time, a little proof to yourself that things are getting better at a time builds momentum. So that was in my case. I started taking classes, and I started applying what I was learning in the classes. And it all made sense to me. And I kept doing it over and over, even when I didn't feel like it, because they said, it doesn't matter what you feel like now, you'll feel different if you do these. So I applied myself to it. And as I applied myself to it, things got better in my life. I started writing songs, I started having songs published, and then I started having songs recorded. I started getting more jobs playing music. Things turned around for me. And so things started happening for me. And I want you to understand the science of mind teaching, I like to say, changed my life. And many people have come to me since I've been a minister. We had someone in class, the last class we had, it was in the evening class, who said, "Oh, Dr. Mitch, I saw you 20 years ago." I didn't know who it was, to be honest with you. And she said, "20 years ago, you changed my life." And I said, "Oh, thank you for giving me that much power." But here's the truth. You changed your life. You changed your life. I may have given you some information that helped you do that, but you're the one that has to do it. So we're back to this energy that's in you. It's creating your life. You know, that's the only thing I can say. And I've been preaching it now for years. But, so in my life, in answer to your question, it turned around and I started getting good results, and I got divorced and I got remarried and I moved to Nashville with the idea of being a singer and songwriter. Imagine that. Well, I had a modicum of success at that, but I realized after I was here 2 or 3 years that, well, a little more than that, that there was something else was calling me, and I could feel it. And that's how I became a minister of the science of mind, because it changed my life, and because I knew that it can change other people's life if they got it. Now, I won't pretend I can push it into you. You see, you have to want it to change. You have to have the desire, you know. So many people have gone through this teaching and through my classes, and many people have, you know, I've seen people come in and just get it, and wow. I've seen other people struggle with it. I struggle with it. So, and every day I have learned it's about more of my understanding, because challenges always come up in this life, because yin and yang, hot and cold. So I have the opportunity to say what my energy level is. Make sense? Come on, stump the minister. Okay, nobody but, everybody else but Mark. Right?
He's got a book.
He's got a, he wrote it down, okay.
Mitch, I wanted to ask you about John 10:34. Know ye not that ye are gods? And how, like if you did an AI search on that scripture, it would tell you that the rulers at that time were referred to as gods because they were appointed over the people, whereas science of mind tends to take or adopt this verse to mean that we are divinity.
Read the verse again. They just boosted your voice up.
Oh, know ye not that ye are gods?
And children of the Most High. It's also in the Old Testament.
That's correct, in Psalms.
Yeah. So, what's the science of mind take on that? It's get over being human. You're God. Yes, the science of mind does take that verse and uses it. You see, the science of mind and Ernest Holmes and people in his generation were very familiar with the Bible, and that was the only thing that resembled something. You know, before them was Christian Science, which he studied, which also uses the Bible. And all of New Thought was based on the idea of Jesus' teachings. You know, New Thought was, now it isn't about preparing now for your life hereafter by being good in this life and following the rules we tell you. Because that's how it was adopted, right? And it's about creating a life now using these teachings. So they looked at the teachings of Jesus, and they could see that certain things were added and certain things were taken out. Now, they didn't have proof of this, but they said if they followed, for example, that verse in the book of John, where Jesus says to people, all these things that I do, you can do, and even greater. There's no limit to what can be done with consciousness. You see, what we teach here is consciousness. What are you, and by consciousness I mean the sum total of your beliefs and ideas. The consciousness you create. The consciousness of love, the consciousness of joy, the consciousness of confidence. And I have found that one of the greatest challenges to applying this teaching for many people is simply confidence. Do I have confidence, or am I measuring myself against somebody else? Am I hoping they get better, or am I hoping I get better than they are? And, you know. Now that's nonsense. It's silliness, really. It's trying to live in this world like it matters. Now, what did I say? Did I say this world doesn't matter? No. This world matters significantly because you came here to create. You came here to create you in the way that you want to express your talents and abilities. That's what you are. That's what you've done. So I would say to you that these teachings, and it is based on the Bible, and but it's also in other religious works. It's all through it, especially the Hindu religion. Does that help answer your question? Hey, Jerry.
Hello, Doctor. I'd like to...
I prefer His Holiness.
Yeah. Right. I'm wondering if you would talk, excuse me, a little bit about money.
Money?
money, and the energy of well-being. Is it solely an accumulation in quantity that's a criteria of well-being, or can somebody have less quantity and still have this sense of opulence and abundance? And it's not about numbers. But, I was always raised to think if you get rich, you're blessed and you're powerful. If you're not rich, you failed this time. And that's been an issue for me, of course.
Boy. Okay, Jerry, you can be healed. Come out.
Yeah, because there's a sense of I blew it. I didn't do it.
Well, let's take confidence. As I said, one of the challenges that I've seen people face, and I faced in myself, is this idea of confidence. Well, what is confidence? Confidence is a record of how you feel about yourself. Does that make sense? So how do you get that record, that thing in you, how do you get that record to be confident? You do things, and you finish them, and you make yourself proud. In other words, you do what you say you're going to do. And that registers on you as, wow, I can do that. I know that sounds kind of simple, doesn't it? But it's the truth. You build confidence by doing little things for yourself, by doing little things for others, by keeping doing them until you have this record in you that you can be counted on to do what you say. Am I making sense? Does that answer your question, Jerry, or did you have more?
In other words, okay, I've made my, I've said something, I've demonstrated. I say something else, I demonstrate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Not somebody else is demonstrating
No.
way more, and I'm not.
No, what's the guy's name who's the head of Amazon or? Yeah. He's no better than you. He's no better than anybody. I hope he's happy. I don't know how happy. I want to tell you, I've known people who have immense wealth who are not happy. And I've known people who are not wealthy who are very happy. So it isn't the quantity, it's the quality of life that you have. I remember I had the occasion to know about someone who, since the time he was 2 or 3 years old, his mother put him on her knee and said, "You are wealthy. You are able to create great amounts of money. You are able to be abundant in all ways. You can do it." And just whispered it to him so that he's remembering kids at that stage of life are in constant theta and alpha, and it just downloaded into him. He had a confidence that he could make money. Well, years later in his life, he was very wealthy. He had many fortunes he lost and many fortunes he told. But he had a terrible relationship. He was married 7 times. So your consciousness is always about something. He had a good money consciousness, but certainly not a great relationship consciousness. But all those things are workable on. Is that a word? Yeah. So, yes, you can work on those things. And here it is. Whatever it is, it's coming out of you. Whatever it is, it's coming out of your heart and your mind combined together in coherence to say what it is you are. Now, if you've done it many times, your body has built up tissue. And that is the energy of vibration of that energy from you, which goes out to the universe, which matches that energy of vibration and brings you the people, situations, circumstances of whatever that vibration is. Understand? Incredibly rich or poor beyond belief.
Hi, Reverend Mitch. So this is a fun one. Does the science of mind believe that Jesus died on the cross to save us from our sins? Ooh.
Just you. No, well, I'll give you, I don't believe that. I used to. You know, that I remember being a kid at the little Penrod Baptist Church in Kentucky, and they had a minister who came by who was going to preach to the kids, right? And so we're sitting there, you know, I think maybe I was 5, I don't know. And all the kids are sitting there, and he said, "And every precious drop of blood that came down from Jesus' head was because of you." And I thought, I'm sorry, Jesus. But you see what a terrible thing that is? You tell that child it's unworthy, it's a sinner from beginning, but that was the theology. That was the theology. And all they worried about, they didn't talk about creating stuff. They didn't talk about having a happy life. They said, well, the happy life was if you got saved. But they really just talked about doing well, doing whatever was required now so that you could get into heaven later. Well, that's what I think the take. Now, Ernest Holmes was a remarkable character who could make friends with anyone. And so he made friends with all kinds of different people in all kinds of different religions. But you see, he had that openness of heart, that everyone would respond to. And so there are people who blamed him and blamed the science of mind and said it was a cult and be careful and all that stuff, and still do. But I remember I went with a friend one time after I first came to Nashville to the old Baptist bookstore used to be downtown. Anybody remember that? And we went inside and we looked, and it had a sign that said cults to be careful of. And inside were all the books of the cults, included the science of mind. So, I don't know, did I answer your question? Sort of? Well, I don't, no, Ernest Holmes only talked about the resurrection, which was death. The death of something had to happen to create something new. So the Bible, dear hearts, dear friends, and all the characters in it are metaphors for you. So if you want something new, something old has to die, right? So something new can be born.
Okay, this has been on my mind for a while. When you were talking about contrast in the beginning of this service, it went back to CSL's, Centers for Spiritual Living's global vision, creating a world that works for everyone.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Get up on the mic so they can hear you.
Oh, I was just going to ask about it. Would you consider it, because it ties into everything we're talking about.
See, they can't hear you back there.
Once upon a time, you taught a class, Keys to the Kingdom. I've taken it twice, and it really ties into everything that's been discussed here so far. Would you consider doing that again?
Keys to the Kingdom?
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was by a minister out of Bradenton, Florida, had created it, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And I forgot
If I
his
can
name.
find the materials, I'll do it. It was a class on abundance and being abundant. And it required tithing. Ooh. Now listen, I don't believe that if you tithe, a bell rings in heaven and God says, oh, another sinner's into the fold. Nothing like that. You telling yourself that you're able to give 10%. That's how easily money comes to you. That's all I think about tithing. So, at any rate, did that answer you?
But there were exercises and things.
Yeah.
It was a long class.
And yes, it was about 8 or 10 week class, as I recall. And there were exercises which were wonderful at helping you build your abundant consciousness. You know, I liked tithing classes because they got you to swallow the biggest frog first. 10%? Oh my God. Well, it's a big frog to swallow. So I know, and I always told people, well, if you can't give 10, then give 1, give 2, give 5. Give something you can give now to prove to yourself that you're able to do it. You know. Alan?
Mitch, why does the science of mind have practitioners?
Why does the science of mind have practitioners? Well, I think Ernest Holmes wanted someone to carry the ideas that he was trying to get across. You know, he had no intention of building churches. He said, I came to change consciousness. I didn't come to build churches. So early on, practitioners, there were some even when I was in California, there was one that had offices. They had an office. There was a couple in Vegas and other places. And you could come and see the practitioner, but these were old-time practitioners. They weren't interested in all the academic background and stuff. They spent a year taking classes from Ernest Holmes. And then they had to demonstrate. They had to have 5 or more case histories of people they had helped with their prayer. And so, at any rate, these practitioners they had studied the Bible, they had studied Ernest Holmes, and they were open. And Ernest Holmes said, I found in the Catholic religion more people who were open to the idea that being a practitioner, that praying makes the difference. So I think there are practitioners that way. But, you know, it evolved into something else. It evolved into what we have now, practitioners who have to take courses that frankly, I think are too long to take. I would much rather you demonstrate something than spend another year or 2 or more money doing something. How long are we supposed to do this? So, understand, I think it's all great. I think that practitioners are wonderful, and you should avail yourself of their services if you want something. But you see, a practitioner puts themselves in place of you and doesn't see the problem you think you have. In fact, denies it and sees you as whole, complete, and absolutely perfect. And those are just words unless you feel it. Unless you feel it. So a good practitioner is one who feels that truth so that that energy is substituted for that negation that you put out. Amen?
First, I want to say I'm one of the crazy people from Southern California. She knows that. That's what they allude most of the time.
Well, tell them who you are.
I'm JD. I'm from Southern California, but I've been here a few years now. And I know Dr. Mitch for quite a while, so my first time to this location, which is kind of fun. I'm used to the one on y'all sold, which I voted for selling as well. I asked you this a while back, but I've been asking it, I think it's a good question. You've been doing these talks for some time now, and have there been challenging times for you to come up every Sunday, back when you used to do this every Sunday, and give these kinds of talks, and still have a place in you sometimes where there's like, what am I doing, or is there a doubt, or have you ever had those in the past, you know, where you're growing still? Because we all have contrast. You're talking about contrast. Life's that's the purpose of it. But you've got the responsibility of standing there and telling us all these wonderful things, but you're a human being.
Self-doubts?
Yeah.
God?
Well, I don't know. Well, self-doubts, yeah, I guess you could put it any way you would, but just the doubts.
God, as you and I, has self-doubts. God, as you and I, has fears. God, as you and I, has low anger. God, as you and I, can feel helpless and at the end of our rope. But God, as you and I, can start taking one little step to feel better no matter where we are, no matter what's going on, and no matter who we think is doing it to us. Because I want you to understand something. Nobody is. We've chosen that circumstance to show ourselves we can raise our vibration. Boy, that was a hard one for me to swallow. You mean I've got to feel better despite him? Yeah. I can do that? Yeah. How do I do that? Start seeing yourself as capable of love. That's pretty good. I have to remember that. Any more questions?
I have one question. I have to go to the mic. I think
Yeah.
I can talk loud enough.
I don't think they can hear you back there. Those people in the back all have hearing aids.
Yeah. I grew up with orange hair. They called me a redhead, and I ran into a lot of conflict with that. And I'd like you to talk about the conflict and how you can move it. Like, for instance, I'm on a field and maybe I'm playing a game, and he says, "Oh, there he is, red in the head like a dick on a dog." How do you work with somebody that wants to push you below where you ever have been, and allow you to then stand up and be more than just a canine?
Well, in that case, it was just true. No. How do we get above what we think is power? How do we get above what seems to be out here? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's not easy, especially when you're in the middle of it, because just like this last class we had on paradigm shifts. Wow. Everybody's excited, but it's the resistance you feel of something in you that believes that redhead of yours is something unwanted. But here's the truth. When you start accepting, wow, see, you see this? Everybody see this? It's Latin. Es quod. It is what it is. So first you start there. Well, I do have red hair. Can't help that. It's like when I moved to Ohio as a kid from Kentucky. They used to call us hillbillies and stuff like that, you know, and we got teased and in fights and all kinds of stuff. But after a while, you know, they started respecting you because if you could come to the place where you said, you know, I'm glad to be a hillbilly. I'm glad to have my thoughts. I'm glad about who I am and who I can be. And the more I do that, the more my energy rises higher, the more good I feel about myself, the more confidence I believe in myself because of the things that I can do, right? And the more that energy goes up, and the more that energy flows from me, and the more people, situations, and events out there that are like that energy come to me. Will cause me to come to them. And that includes everything. Everything from abundance to love relationships to healing of physical things. You know, New Thought started all on the basis of healing. And those people, including Ernest Holmes and all the people who started New Thought stuff, heal people. Well, they taught people how to heal themselves. You follow me? And that's what made New Thought the incredible influence it has been. You know, you don't see the changes, but I do, because I'm an old guy. But I can see the changes that have happened in this country. Some of it not good, but some of it incredible. Because New Thought kind of permeates everything. This whole idea that you can create something and create your life the way you want it to be. That's what you came for, the adventure and the fun of it. You didn't come here to go, oh, they don't like me over there. I wonder why they don't like me. Who cares? You get a chance to like yourself. And the truth is, when you like yourself enough, the world changes. And I think that in a literal way, the world changes because you've changed. The characters, the events, the circumstances all change. And you'll realize you're in a different place, a different state of mind where you're supposed to be. In love with life, in love with yourself, in love with each other, and in love with joy. Because that's what we came for. So it is.
Thank you, Dr. Mitch. That was wonderful. So the law of giving and receiving demonstrates to us that when we give, we receive even more. So if something has touched you today, there are many ways you can share the love with us, and we are grateful for your offering of any amount. I would like to ask our ushers to come forward. They're already forward. Thank you to Stevie and to Amy for volunteering today. In addition to the baskets being passed, we also have a few other ways we can accept your gift to the center. To use a credit card, we have a QR code posted in various places in this room and in the community room. And if you're watching online, there's a link on your screen, and of course, you can always visit our website. So please say with me our gratitude prayer. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is. Thank you for your loving gifts.
Just believe. Yeah, there ain't that much difference between you and me. In a time full of war, be peace. In a world full of hate, be alive. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be alive. Change, make a difference. In a world full of hate, be alive. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be alive. La 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 la. In a race that you can't win, slow it down. Yeah, you only get one go round. 'Cause the finish line is 6 feet in the ground. In a race you can't win, just slow it down. In a world full of hate, be alive. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be alive. Yeah, it's hard to live in color, just see black and white. In a world full of hate, be alive.
Joelle and Raven, everybody.
That song was great. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Mitch. I love this format of the question and answer. And our guest artists, Raven and Joelle, thank you for coming back. It's always wonderful when you guys are here. And thank you to our musicians, Don Morgan on bass, Jimmy Lopez on percussion, Mark Horowitz on keyboard, and of course our music director, Larry Faragalli. And thank you to a fabulous AV team who always makes this production so wonderful. So we have just a few announcements before we close this service and start getting food. I mentioned today obviously everybody knows, today is our Thanksgiving potluck. Thank you to the men's group for organizing this and providing chicken, ham, potatoes, and stuffing. Don't worry if you're a vegetarian or gluten-free. There will be plenty of options that people have brought. Normally, you know that we do not have open beverages without lids in the main hall. But today, because we have tables and no one will be putting cups on chairs, we're able to bring beverages in here today. So enjoy your beverages with your food. And obviously, we'll go back when we go back to theater seating. If we go back to theater seating, depending on your feedback on this the seating style, we'll appreciate your cooperation and understanding to go back to having only covered beverages in here. But today, we're going to live dangerously and enjoy this feast. So next Sunday, or 2 Sundays from now, join Reverend Kath DePalma for Conversation and Coffee on Sunday, December 7th at noon after the service. We'll discuss our new minister, search, the new year, and whatever else is on your mind. The new minister, speaking of new minister, the new minister selection committee and the board are moving forward with applicant interviews. We don't have specifics yet, but we expect to have candidate weekends in January. So please mark your calendars for the weekends of January 11th and 18th. As I said, we don't have details, but we want to give everyone notice that these look to be the target dates for that. Yeah. And we still have another week for you to make your commitment to CSLN for 2026, so please fill out the pledge card, or you can see David or Meredith after the service for assistance. My understanding is that we are over $31,000 pledged for 2026. And then one more thing, we had a new member class last Saturday, so please join me in welcoming Michael Thomas as our newest CSLN member. And for details about anything that I've talked about, check the newsletter, check the website for this and even more classes, happenings, meetings, registration, Zoom links, all that stuff. Before we close our service, we would like to welcome our visitors. We won't ask you to stand, but if you can just wave your hand and let us know if you're new here so we can make sure to say hello to you. Do we have any new people here? Well, if we do, then please join us for the potluck, which is, obviously, this is where we'll be eating. If you are watching online, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. And I'd like to ask, we're doing something a little different today with our practitioners as well. If I could just ask our practitioners to stand where they're at, and if there's something that you are dealing with, or there's something you want to attract in your life related to your health, your relationships, your career, money, please don't leave today without asking one of our practitioners. There's Ursula, Gwen, Etta are all here. I'm here. David Arnholter is back there as well. Oh, yes, please stand where you're at. Oh, we have more. We have Alan and Laura. We have Marla, and Lima is here. So, and Dottie is here. Hi, Dottie. So please don't leave today without asking one of these practitioners to pray with you as soon as the service is over, or you can fill out a prayer request form and put it in the secure box on the table in the lobby. If you're watching online, please go to our website under practitioners, and you can contact any one of us directly. So we will not be doing our new minister prayer today. I am going to just do a short benediction because we are running late. So please join me in a closing benediction. Knowing that there is only one life, the life of God, and that life is my life now, I bless this day and all who walk with me on this path. I release these words into the law. They are fulfilled as I speak, and so it is. So let's put a little love in our hearts and stand for our closing song.
Got lyrics? Dale? Oh, hey, here we go.
See, it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. And if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. When you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. The world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. 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 Put a little love in your heart.
Let's see if we can do this.
Put a little love.
Yeah. In your, say it. That's it.
This program is a service of the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. May your life be filled with joy and prosperity in every way. Learn more about our programs or contact one of our practitioners at our website, cslnashville.org. You may also want to follow us on Facebook at CSLNASH. You can make a big difference with your financial gift at lovecsln.com. Please share the link to this program with a friend and join us again next Sunday. Have a wonderful week.